When my sister announced her fourth pregnancy, I finally hit my breaking point. And let me ask you this, how many times can you be used before you snap? 10 to 25 sec emotional setup plus twist for years. I was her free childcare, her built-in nanny, her personal backup parent. But this time, something inside me shattered. I realized I wasn't just helping. I was raising her minions while she partied, slept, and dumped every responsibility on me. So I did the one thing she never thought I would die, walked out for. GOOD 0.25 to 45 sec turning point. But the moment I left, she completely lost IT. She started screaming, accusing me of abandoning her. She said I ruined her life, that I owed her, that her kids needed me more than she did. And then this is where everything changed. She actually called the cops on me. 45 to 60. SEC promise of revenge. Cliffhanger. But what she didn't know is that this call would explode right in her face. And what happened next? You won't believe how disastrously this backfired on Herbie, because that police visit revealed something she never expected anyone to find out. When my sister announced her fourth pregnancy, I felt something inside finally break. I refused to be her free childcare. No more wiping noses or cleaning messes. I grabbed my coat and walked out. And this time, didn't look back. The house behind me feels suffocating now, walls echoing with the chaos I leave. Her yelling ricochets down the narrow hallway, but I keep walking through the empty streets. My chest aches with years of frustration. Every favor, every sacrifice, unacknowledged, forgotten. I remember nights spent soothing crying babies, my own plans and dreams left behind. The fourth announcement hits me like a storm. Her smile hides entitlement, not gratitude at all. I feel my shoulders slump under invisible weight, the kind only siblings burdened by demands understand. The wind bites my cheeks as I step past the garden where her children play unaware. I hear their giggles like distant bells, reminders that my youth has been stolen here. I clutch my bag closer to my chest, determined to reclaim the life she consumes. I didn't shout, didn't argue, didn't beg, just walked away with quiet, firm resolve. But she doesn't take this quietly, ever. Her voice follows me, sharp and furious. And then, sirens? I freeze mid-step. Realization hits. She's called the cops on me. My heart thunders. But I hold my ground, eyes scanning the dimly lit empty street. I didn't steal, didn't harm, didn't threaten. Yet suddenly, I am the villain in her story. The irony burns hotter than the cold air. Years of servitude ignored in a single call. I press my palm against the lamppost, trying to calm the storm inside my chest. Everything I gave, everything I sacrificed, used against me by the one I love. The unfairness twists like a knife, sharp. And I know this isn't the end. The street is quiet, but tension vibrates. Every shadow feels like judgment or threat. I think about my parents who taught fairness, but lessons mean nothing when betrayal is alive. I pull my bag tighter, step forward slowly, determined not to let fear rule me tonight. Her anger has created chaos. But karma waits, and I feel it stir somewhere in the distance. I take a deep breath and move, knowing this confrontation has only just begun. I can't predict the outcome, can't control it, but I can hold my head high. Unbroken. The night feels colder than ever before, yet I feel a spark of quiet strength. No more minions, no more silent servitude. I reclaim my life one step at a time. Behind me, chaos. Ahead of me, freedom, and a storm is quietly gathering for her. I hear the distant wail of sirens. Red and blue lights slice through darkness. My stomach twists as my heart races. I didn't think it could get worse. The officer steps out, his face serious. And I realize this is her plan unfolding. She's pacing in the doorway, arms crossed, eyes burning with fury I've never seen. "Where do you think you're going?" she shouts, voice trembling, almost as if she's scared herself. I stay silent, shoulders squared, breathing steady. Determined not to give her satisfaction today. The officer glances between us uneasily. clearly unsure why a family dispute escalates. She launches into accusations, frantic, relentless, paints me as heartless, careless, irresponsible. I take a step back, keeping my calm, letting her words float over like smoke. The kids peek from the windows upstairs, little faces pressed against glass, wide-eyed, scared. I swallow hard, pain flaring in my chest, knowing they don't understand what's happening yet. Every step away from that house burns, but I keep moving, silent, steady. Firm. I remember all the nights I sacrificed, crying myself to sleep while she rested. The fourth baby, just another demand on me, like my life was nothing but a tool. And now she's turned the law against me. It's trying to punish the one who finally left. The officer sighs, pinches the bridge of his nose, clearly frustrated with a story too familiar. I explain calmly, each word deliberate, precise. My sister has been using me forever. I'm done. I walked out. No threats, nothing. His eyes soften, understanding dawning slowly, quietly. She scoffs, but I notice fear in her voice. Maybe she finally realizes this isn't a joke. The house behind her feels suddenly smaller, the chaos she thrives on shrinking into silence. I take another step toward the street. Feeling the cool night air on my face, the kids' giggles echo faintly behind walls. And I wonder how long it took them to notice I'm gone, and she's furious. Her betrayal has consequences she can't imagine yet. I feel a strange mix of relief, power, and heartbreak for the family I leave behind. The officer gives her a warning. Stern firm tells her this isn't a criminal matter, and that her call backfired completely on her. Her eyes widen, disbelief written in every line. I feel a small, quiet satisfaction stirring. It's the first taste of freedom without guilt. I keep walking, suitcase in hand, deliberate steps. Every footfall a small act of rebellion. She watches from the doorway, furious, powerless, and I know she never expected this courage. The night hums softly around the empty streets. And I realize something dangerous is stirring inside me, because leaving isn't enough anymore. Not yet. She's broken her own trust and mine, and I've only just started reclaiming my life. Her chaos may follow me, but I'm ready. Ready to see how far this betrayal goes, and to make her face the consequences soon. The next morning, my phone buzzes nonstop. Messages from her. Frantic, pleading, demanding. I don't answer. I refuse to engage. Her chaos can't touch me anymore today. I sip coffee slowly, watching sunlight creep, feeling a quiet, hard-earned sense of relief. She texts my mother, tries guilt, manipulation, claiming I abandoned her, her kids, her life. But my mother, wise and steady, knows better, reminds her all the years I sacrificed. I breathe deep, letting their words fade. Holding on to the calm I finally earned, I walk through the city streets, quiet, each step lighter than the last night. For the first time, I feel in control, like my life is finally mine again. No more wiping tears that aren't mine. No more bending for someone else's chaos. I think about her face when cops left, her fury mingled with panic and disbelief. She realized rules don't bend for entitlement, that using someone forever has a cost. And a small vindictive smile tugs my lips. Justice doesn't have to be loud to sting. Then I hear it, a crash of tires outside. My heart skips, but I stay still, calm. She's driving by, shouting my name through glass, her eyes wild, desperate, almost unhinged. The kids in the back seat peek nervously, and I feel a pang of sadness. Yes, but also pride that I finally stand firm. Her calls go to voicemail. Repeated, furious, and I let the phone sit. Untouched, quiet. I know she's spiraling into the chaos she made. Her plans unraveling faster than she imagines. And I realize this is my moment to breathe, to step into life without guilt or chains. I start small. A walk in the park. Sunlight warms my face as I move freely. The kids from her house wave from distance, not sure if I'll ever come back again. A wave of sadness, yes, but also power. Knowing I finally took the only right step. Then comes the unexpected. A neighbor stops me, whispering quietly, "She's telling everyone you're cruel." But some people are starting to see truth about how much you've given and what's yours. I nod, realizing the world is watching closely and that karma doesn't always need my hand. I hear laughter in the distance. Pure, sweet, children playing in a park not mine to raise. And a thought hits me sharp, clear, piercing. I have survived her storm and I thrive. I don't need her approval, her thanks, nothing. Because my life is finally my own story. But I know she won't stop this easily. Entitlement burns hotter than logic ever could. I feel a shift, like a quiet storm, and I know the next move will matter. This isn't over. Not yet. Not ever. Her mistakes are piling, and consequences are coming. I turn down the street, breathing fully. Finally, the city alive, the sun warm, the air clean. Freedom tastes bittersweet, but necessary, essential, real. And somewhere behind, her chaos rages, impotent, futile. A lesson forming in my chest, heavy. Some people only learn when life hits hard. I smile faintly, knowing the climb ahead waits. But I'm not afraid. Not now, not ever. Because strength doesn't come from serving everyone. Strength comes from standing, leaving, claiming yourself. And the storm she brought I will survive. And someday, she will see the truth too. Days pass, but her chaos doesn't fade. Every text, call, message, desperate, frantic. I ignore them all, holding my ground, letting her anger crash against my calm. She's realizing the rules don't bend anymore. It's breaking her carefully crafted control. I walk past our childhood street today. Memories of sacrifice hit me like waves. I see the houses she once dominated, her voice commanding, her kids clinging to her. But now she's unraveling, and I watch quietly from the distance. Observing her downfall, a neighbor whispers, "She's spreading lies again," saying you abandoned her, ruined her life. I nod, a small smile playing on lips because truth always finds its way eventually. The people around begin to murmur softly, some remembering all I've done, patiently waiting. Then I hear a sharp crackle of news, her reputation slipping through fingers like sand. Neighbors questioning, friends doubting, colleagues gossiping quietly. She realizes control isn't eternal, not ever. Her fury bubbles, impotent, desperate, raw, and I feel a satisfaction, restrained. Careful, quiet. I visit a cafe, sipping tea alone, watching city life continue, unaffected by her chaos. And a stranger sits down across, smiling softly. Sometimes standing up for yourself changes everything. I nod, heart heavy but lighter than before, knowing this is more than revenge, reclaiming dignity. The kids notice my absence. Growing uneasy slowly, she tries to manipulate. But they're observing differently now. Her screams and threats bounce off empty walls. No one listens anymore. No one trusts her alone. She feels small for the first time, trembling. And I see clearly how justice has a shape. I receive a call from her lawyer suddenly, asking for mediation, arrangements, explanations, apologies. Her plan to punish me backfires spectacularly. Legal warnings, neighbor complaints, small humiliations, stacking. Every effort she made to control me crumbles. Her empire of entitlement cracking quietly. Slowly, inevitably, I breathe deep, letting the lessons sink in. That boundaries have power, patience has strength, and no one can take what you claim firmly. The air smells like rain on city streets. A cleansing moment, a pause in the storm. And I finally feel freedom tastes like clarity. I pass her house cautiously. Windows shuttered tight, her expression frozen as if time betrayed her. Her kids peek out, unsure, confused, observing quietly, and I realize they're learning too, seeing the truth. The weight she carried through anger now falters, and I know the balance has shifted. Finally, at night, I walk home under soft lamplight, thinking about the quiet strength I discovered. No one can force your spirit to break, and sometimes stepping away speaks louder than words. Her downfall isn't cruel, it's simply life balancing. And the lesson burns softly, indelibly inside me. But even in my relief, I feel tension. Because closure isn't always immediate or simple. I know the final act hasn't played fully. Her desperate hands will try, stumble, reach again. And I prepare quietly, ready to respond, but only with wisdom, justice, and quiet strength. Weeks pass and the storm finally fades, her frantic energy replaced by quiet panic. She tries to call message, plead again, but I have learned to guard my heart. I don't answer. I walk freely now, every step a declaration of reclaimed life. Her reputation crumbles quietly, like soft rain, neighbors whisper, friends distance, colleagues question her. No one trusts her endless demands anymore. And I see the truth reflected clearly now. Her children watch, learning boundaries and strength. And I realize I've taught without speaking a word. I sit alone at sunrise, breathing deeply, the city waking around me. Soft, light, golden. My heart feels lighter than it has ever. I sip coffee slowly, savoring my freedom. No guilt, no chains, no expectation crushing me. Only clarity, only peace. Only the life I earned. She arrives at the door one last time. Her face pale, lips trembling, eyes desperate. I don't understand, she whispers, but I only shake my head quietly firm. I gave you years, my life, my heart, and now I take it back, finally. Her tears fall, but I don't reach for them. Not this time, not after everything she demanded. The silence between us stretches thick, defining, and I see clearly the lesson life has carved. Some people only learn when their actions return, and her chaos, her entitlement, has finally answered. I walk away slowly, suitcase in hand again, but this time my steps are lighter, certain. The city hums softly, life moving all around, and I feel fully, completely, unapologetically alive. No regrets, only clarity, only quiet justice. Because freedom isn't given, it's claimed with courage. Later, I hear she tries rebuilding. Awkward, hesitant. But no one listens with blind trust anymore. Her own choices have created consequences she must face. And I know this is true poetic justice. No drama, no shouting, no punishment from me, just life balancing as it always eventually does. I remember every night spent crying quietly. Every favor given, every dream postponed for her. And I realize sometimes silence is the loudest answer, and standing up for yourself is a gift. Not just to yourself, but to the world watching. To show that strength, boundaries, and dignity matter. I pause at the park where I first felt free, watching kids play, life moving without interference. A small smile crosses my lips, quiet, soft, proud. Because the battle was never about hatred or revenge. It was about reclaiming me, my time, my peace, and that, at last, I have finally done fully. The sun sets slowly, golden streaks across sky, my shadow long strong, and unapologetically mine. I take a deep breath, letting everything settle, knowing life has a way of teaching balance, and I whisper softly to myself, finally free. Some lessons are learned only the hard way.